and welcome to Nationwide Today. I'm Elizabeth Omori with the news. President Bola Tinubu appoints Mr. Ola Olukoyede as the new chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for a renewable term of 4 years, pending Senate's confirmation. A statement by the presidential spokesperson, Ajuri Ngelale, indicates that this is in line with Section 2 of the EFCC Act and follows the resignation of the erstwhile Chairman Abdulrashid Bawa. The statement also indicates that Mr. Mohammed Hassan Hamid Joda has been appointed Secretary of the Commission for an initial term of 5 years, pending Senate's confirmation. Now, Senator representing Anambra South, Ifeanyi Ubah, has defected to the All Progressives Congress APC from the Young Progressives Party YPP. The decision was communicated in a letter read by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, during plenary.
Of irreconcilable differences between me and the leadership of my party, I have therefore resolved to move from the Young Progressives Party YPP to the most important party in Africa, the All Progressives Congress. As a dedicated politician and a representative of my people, I believe that this move has become exigent owing to the growing need and call from my constituents to align myself, my political party, and my people with the best values and practices inherent in the All Progressives Congress.
By this defection by Ifeanyi Ubah, APC now has 60 senators in the red chamber, while YPP has none. In the meantime, President Tinubu has requested the Senate to confirm the appointment of Olayinka Oladunjoye as Lagos State Federal Commissioner representing Lagos State in the National Population Commission. Meanwhile, Senate has adjourned plenary in honor of late Abdulkadir Jelani, a member of the House of Representatives who died this week in Abuja. Meanwhile, 2 consolidated bills to amend the Armed Forces Act to provide for the appointment of service chiefs from the rank and file of the armed forces have passed second reading at the House of Representatives. National Assembly correspondent Mitari Ekman reports that the debate for the bills, jointly sponsored by Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu and 6 other lawmakers, was led by Representative Jonathan Gaza from Nasarawa State.
On the other hand, the second bill seeks to make it compulsory that retired army officers that are retired before their ages of mandatory retirement, in order to maintain institutional knowledge and to fully harness the investments that have been made into these military officers, that they become more of consultants and train the younger generations or younger crop of officers that are coming up behind them. It equally aims to increase the retirement age for army officers, considering the amount of investment made into them, to 65 years, and of course 65 years and 40 years having been in the service.
45 bills also passed first reading at Thursday's plenary, including the Compulsory Free Universal Basic Education Act, Amendment Bill 2023. And away from activities at the National Assembly, the federal government wants all ministries, departments and agencies, as well as private sector organizations, to henceforth ensure they register their technology transfer agreements with the National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion, NOTAP, as stipulated in its mandates. Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Naji, gave the directive at the official opening of the new corporate headquarters building of NOTAP in Abuja. Justin Bemui reports.
This is a project that started 4 years ago. Today, this 1-block, 3 suspended floors edifice has been completed and commissioned. NOTAP now has a befitting office complex and a conducive working environment to largely execute its mandates and objectives. With a new development, Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology affirmed the willingness of the ministry to continue to provide the necessary support to NOTAP towards achieving its mandates of regulating and registering technology transfer agreements in the country and promoting indigenous technological activities.
As I commission this NOTAP headquarters complex, it is my expectation that the management and staff of NOTAP shall continue to work in harmony with renewed zeal and commitment to justify funding priority according to this project towards sustained technological development.
We regulate inflow of foreign technology through registration of technology transfer agreements. And for a very long time, we've been doing this exercise manually. But I'm happy to tell you that we have fully automated the process.
So far, NOTAP has automated the process of technology transfer agreements registration, provided support to researchers, strengthened industrial partnership leading to the upgrade of laboratories in many universities in the country, while staff welfare has improved. Justin Bemuni, NTA News.
Talking road safety now, ember months usually associated with rise in vehicular movement with frequent increases of road crashes across the country. Kaduna, geographically located at a transit hub linking motorists from southwest and the east to the northern part of the country, has had its own fair share of road crashes. Recently, the Federal Road Safety Corps Kaduna State Command flagged off its annual Ember Month sensitization campaign as part of its efforts to reduce road crashes. Gloria Tokian Woodwan will tell us about the campaign.
Released by the Federal Road Safety Corps indicates that end of every year is usually associated with high vehicular and human mobility across the country. This results overspeeding by impatient motorists, accounting for over 60% of road crashes. To ensure free flow of traffic and reduction in road traffic crashes, Federal Road Safety Corps flagged off the 2023 Ember Month campaign in Kaduna State. Governor Ubasani represented says everyone must adhere to traffic rules and maintain safety standards.
People should drive responsibly and adhere strictly to the simple traffic rules and regulations.
Activities marking the event shows some media houses and individuals being recognized for their contributions towards creating awareness and maintaining safety on the road. In Kaduna, Gloria Tukanwadu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Dauda Mohammed is standing by in Kaduna to discuss more on some causes of road crashes and efforts being made to reduce accidents on the roads. Dauda, could you please give us updates?
Good afternoon and welcome to Kaduna. We are presently at the Ahmadu Bello Way, the very popular Ahmadu Bello Way here in Kaduna. And just to give you an idea of the Federal Road Safety Corps released statistics indicating that Kaduna is among the states with the high frequencies of road crashes in the northern part of the country. And Kaduna State being in a very strategic position in terms of the fact that most vehicular traffic coming from the southwest, southeast, and other states going to the north, you have to pass through Kaduna. That gives it an idea, sort of a high frequency of road crashes, and mainly the Ember Month campaign that was flagged off some days ago is to check the high frequency of road accidents in the state. And during the flagging off of the ceremony, they highlighted some of the challenges, some of the causes of road crashes in the state, to include the issue of indiscriminate parking along the highways, especially by articulated trucks. And most road users, without any sign that there's a vehicle on the road, giving most road users concern. And the issue of overloading was also talked about. And other issues talked about were the non-obedience to traffic rules and regulations, because there are so many areas in Kaduna where there's a speed limit, but you find out that most people don't adhere to those speed limits, especially around schools, causing concern to the Federal Road Safety Corps, and that has given rise to road crashes in some of those areas. Other issues are the issue of overspeeding, recklessness, and okay. So To speak more on the issue of the Ember Month campaign, we have Solomon Igbogbo, the head of operations of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Kaduna State Command, here to give us more light on what they are doing to reduce the carnage on the road around this Kaduna zone. Welcome to Nationwide.
Good day.
Please, can you tell us what has the Federal Road Safety Corps, Kaduna State Command, doing to reduce the frequency of road crashes in this area?
First of all, I am Deputy Corps Commander Igbogbo Solomon, the head of operations, Federal Road Safety Corps, Kaduna Sector Command. Fortunately, we have been fighting crashes in the state, and then we went further as at that Monday, which was 9th, we organized a campaign, road safety campaign, Ember Month. And then the aim of that campaign is to see how we can reduce crashes on our highway, reduce crashes within the town, and then ensure that lives and property in this state are safe. And then we are doing these things based on the following: public enlightenment in schools. Outside that campaign we did, public enlightenment in schools, public enlightenment in churches, and then as well as we call it good morning show. Good morning show. We go to market, we tell people, we go to parks as early as possible. We tell people on what to do in order to be safe, both for the passengers and the driver. And then it's everybody's business, that is safety.
Okay. So you'll be doing a lot of enlightenment. We're
Yes.
talking about sort of like enforcement. We have indiscriminate parking along the highways, especially by articulated trucks.
Yes.
So can you tell us what you are doing to stop this bad attitude from the
Yes.
articulated drivers?
Yes, because of the wrong parking, we have had synergy with Nigeria breweries and then stakeholders. Among the stakeholders are the articulated truck owners. That is those people involving in haulages. And then we had a meeting with evidence, we have pictorial evidence, and they have accepted that they will not do that again. How will they not do that again? The punishment that follows, if we see a truck parked along the road without going to trailer parks, we have a tow truck that can move the vehicles out of the road. And then if we do that, the punishment will be there, that the truck owners will be made to pay fines.
Okay. Mr. Gobo, another issue that needs to be looked into is the matter of partnership with the road unions.
Yes.
Because most travelers these days, they use public transport. And
Yes.
those road accidents on the road are mainly caused by the activities of road users,
Yes.
especially those National Union of Road Transport Workers and rest.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? What partnership do you have, or what do you have in the kettle, so to say, on partnership in that aspect?
Yeah, we have partnership with the NUROTW, RETIM, Pegasan, Nupeng. We have meetings. Even during this Ember Month campaign, it was a synergy between all of us. It's not just based on road safety alone. Then what they have promised equally is that they will install speed limiting device. All trucks have been instructed to install speed limiting device. And if any truck does not install speed limiting device, what the owners do is to either punish the driver or we send tickets to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So lastly, sir, what advice do you have for road users to ensure a safe driving this Ember Month?
Well, what our advice to road users, both the motorists and the passengers as well as the pedestrians, is to know that it is good to be safe. Know that safety is everybody's business. If you are careful and then as a driver you not regard the other driver as a madman, it means there will be safety on the road.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
There, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
That has been the head of operations for the Federal Safety Corps, Kaduna State Command, speaking about steps that motorists should take to ensure a very free, safe driving this Ember Month. And that's all from Kaduna. Over to you, studio.
Thank you so much, Dauda. Now, still on road safety, in recent years, vehicle inspection has proven to be a game changer in the fight against road accidents. It is believed that countries with robust inspection systems have recorded up to a remarkable 20% decrease in road accidents, underscoring the life-changing potential of this simple yet crucial process. However, in spite of this feat recorded in tracking the faulters in a digital world, vehicle inspection officers in Nigeria are seen on the roads on a daily basis. Asabe Williams in this report seeks answers to this trend in the FCT.
Nigeria, like many other countries, has faced significant challenges as regards road safety. In recent years, there has been a growing recognition of the importance of vehicle inspection in reducing road accidents and improving road safety in Nigeria.
Of course, the director has introduced a mobile application called Abuja Inspector. And the Abuja Inspector, of course, is a mobile application. It requires an internet. But having recognized that some locations there are no data or the internet facility is not excellent enough, we have introduced USSD service.
But here lies the inherent problem, because despite the undeniable benefits of vehicle inspection in reducing accidents and promoting road safety, there remains a prevailing reluctance or indifference among individuals towards embracing this critical process.
We cannot call it an harassment because they are doing the needful.
If you forgot to renew your driver's license and your papers, sometimes you must be embarrassed by the VIO.
To this end, concerned Nigerians say there is need to support increased advocacy for a more widespread adoption of vehicle inspection in Nigeria. In Abuja, Asabe Williams, NTA News.
To off-cycle elections, more needs to be done by civil society organizations to sensitize Bayelsans on expectations during the November 11 governorship election in the state. INEC National Commissioner in charge of Rivers, Bayelsa Delta, May Agbamuche Umbu, stated this during a training for voter education providers in Yenagwa. Doris Akumwe has details.
Less than 1 month to the Bayelsa off-cycle election, the Independent National Electoral Commission is putting measures in place to ensure that the voting public is sensitized on the do's and don'ts ahead of the exercise. National Commissioner in charge of Rivers, Bayelsa and Delta states, May Mbo, called on voter education providers to up their game and ensuring that they go down the creeks and educate the people on what is expected of them, assuring them that the process will be peaceful and their votes will count.
We bring them over and train them again and let them know what INEC, the newer things, that innovations that INEC has. The Electoral Act has changed.
With the use of the beavers, you cannot vote if you are not accredited. And you can only be accredited if you are the owner of the identity. So the beavers uses either your fingerprints or your facials.
Guest lecturer Dorati Inyang appealed to participants to impact eligible voters on the importance of the exercise, as the Commission is poised to ensure an all-inclusive election where everyone will be carried along during the process. The training is expected to complement INEC's effort towards a successful governorship election in Bayelsa State. In Yenegoa, Doris Akomoye, NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide on NTA. Let's head to Lagos, where Hingino is standing by. Over to you, Hingino.
Thank you, Lizzie. Traders at the Ladipo Auto Spare Parts Market in Lagos have appealed to the Lagos State government to look into their plight and reopen the closed market. They made the plea while speaking with Lanre Milei, who visited the market for a situation report. The Lagos State Safety Commission was also there on an inspection tour.
Auto spare parts traders arrived at Ladipo Market, anticipating its reopening by the Lagos State government, only to discover that the market was still closed. This explains why the traders were milling around bewildered.
We do apologize for that glitch, but let's move on. All right, we'll now take a break. More to come shortly.
In a fleeting moment, our journey of 63
You're still watching Nationwide. Now to education. Recently, Anambra State government declared free education from nursery to JSS3 in government schools in the state in order to give the children of the poor access to qualitative education. In this report, Ndem Kalu takes a look at how free is the free education in the state.
Before now, pupils and students in government schools in the state have been paying numerous fees and levies including toiletries, PTA, exam fees, among others, amounting to thousands of naira, thereby denying some people from going to school. But when Governor Soludo came into power, he made a promise of an all-inclusive, sustainable and compulsory education, being the bedrock of any society. To fulfill the promise, the governor, during his visit to some schools, declared free education from nursery to JSS 3 in government-owned schools, and that students from SS1 to SS3 will no longer pay more than 5,000 naira, and also to embark on massive rehabilitation of infrastructure in schools.
Beginning this term, and so far as I am on this chair, as governor of Anambra, from nursery to primary 6 to JSS 3, nobody, none of them will be required under any circumstance to pay 1 kobo.
In Oka, Ndemkalo, NTA News.
Let's now link up with Ngozi Okekaro, who will be telling us about other reforms by the state government to make public schools a beacon of excellence. Ngozi, let's hear from you.
Thank you. A massive revolution to bring about education, especially public education, to be a model in the education sector is underway in Anambra State. With me is the Commissioner for Education, Anambra State, Professor Ngozi Chukwuma Ude. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
One of the initiatives to make studies friendly is an interactive platform between the pupils, students, and teachers in Anambra State. What informed this?
Well, Mr. Governor, Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, the Chief Servant of Anambra State, has topmost in his manifesto the reconstruction of Anambra into a livable and prosperous society. But he can only achieve this by bringing that enlightenment which education gives to the human soul. So he set out to reform, to upscale the educational sector in Anambra, and it is onto a total reconstruction of this educational space. The first thing he did actually was to employ 5,000 teachers, thereby ending the era of the base and crass teachers, schools without teachers. Then he also improved on it by creating an avenue for upskilling again and upscaling of these teacher skills. He is also engaged once more in employing another 3,000 teachers to make sure that at the end of it all, Anambra State educational sector will be well equipped technologically and all otherwise to produce citizens who are useful at home and exportable abroad. I don't know if I am answering your question. He, again, is interested, because of his passion for education, he is interested in making sure that education gets to every door in Anambra State. He gave free education, free and compulsory, accessible and sustainable education from ECCD to JS1. So it is all free education, free and compulsory and accessible education in Anambra State.
Thank you, Ma. The news continues in Maiduguri. Welcome to Maiduguri. Good to have you join us. Not fewer than 140,000 Boko Haram members and their families have surrendered within the last 18 months. Governor Babagana Marazulim, who made this public while receiving in audience the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, further confirmed that
no Borno community is under insurgents' occupation. Mohammed Goni reports.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, who was a former theater commander Operation Hadinkai before his elevation, visited Maiduguri to, among other things, boost the morale of troops in theater of operations. Governor Bagana Umar Azulum noted the role General Christopher Musa played in the theater of operation in the quest to restore peace to Borno and promotion of civil-military relations.
And by doing so, we have seen a very important number, which is the mass exit. Within the last 18 months, close to about 140,000 Boko Haram members and their families have repented. And this is a huge success to all of us.
The governor used the opportunity to inform Nigerians that there is no community in Borno that is under the control of Boko Haram, and appreciated the Chief of Defense Staff, the armed forces, and other security operatives for their sacrifices to restore peace to Borno State. He reassured the Chief of Defense Staff of his administration's commitment to support the Nigerian armed forces and other security operatives to discharge their constitutional responsibilities.
What endeared me more is when I go to villages and I see local people committed to ensuring that there's peace. Some of them will stay as late as 2, 3, 4 a.m. just to see what is going on and will be reporting that night.
The Chief of Defense Staff reiterated that the governor had made their work extremely easy, adding that if similar support will be given to the armed forces in all states, the security situation in the country will have been dealt with. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
The federal government is committed to strengthen the nation's healthcare system to meet international standards with a view to curbing medical tourism. Coordinating Minister of Health, Professor Mohammed Ali Pati, stated this while inspecting facilities at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. Kaiga Mustafa reports.
With the state-of-the-art equipment and efficient workforce, University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital has over the years provided effective tertiary health intervention to patients not just in Northeast catchment area, but including many from neighboring countries of Chad, Niger, and Republic of Cameroon. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Services, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, applauded the management of the hospital for steady infrastructural and resource development as well as service delivery. The minister then pledged to look into the challenge of power the hospital is dealing with through workable synergy with Ministry of Power.
The transformation of health as part of Mr. President's renewal agenda is on. University of Maiduguri is a very good example. And I think we're impressed by what the CMD has done.
The Chief Medical Director, University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, Professor Ahmed Ahija said, UMTH is a blessed tertiary health institution with sizable number of professors and other seasoned personnel committed to strengthening healthcare services. He, however, lamented that despite proven resourcefulness of the nation's health facilities, medical tourism is still popular among Nigerians, that some people still travel out of the country to seek for medical attention. In Maiduguri, Kaigama Mustafa, NTA News.
And that does it from the Home of Peace. Nationwide continues with Elizabeth in Abuja. Elizabeth, it's back to you.
Thank you so much. Talking security, the police have arrested 2 females for their alleged involvement in the murder of a prominent Kwara businessman. Francis Form reports that the 2 female suspects were paraded in Abuja alongside 54 other suspects, including the kidnappers of Federal Government College Yari students.
Indian him. It was a harvest of arrests for operatives of the Force Intelligence Response Team and Special Tactical Squad following the arrest of 54 suspects for different crimes across the country. Amongst the suspects arrested are these 2 female suspects who were alleged to be responsible for the killing of a socialite in Kwara State.
Give to you so that you sleep.
Next is the arrest of this suspect who allegedly participated in the kidnap of students of the Federal Government College Yauri in Kebbi State, and this suspect who attempted to kidnap his former boss along with his gang but were unsuccessful.
Notice certain areas in FCC that are porous, and the IGP has taken the bull by the horn to involve the government of Nasarawa State, Kaduna State, Kogi State, and the Federal Capital Territory to have joint operations to tackle these menace of kidnapping.
92 firearms, 760 live ammunition, 14 exhibit vehicles, 1 forged document, 120 magazines, 2 IEDs, 1 suicide belt, as well as fake currencies amounting to $970,000 were said to have been recovered from the suspects. Francis from NTA News.
A bit on health, the federal government remains committed to strengthen governance and institutions across the health sector for a resilient and affordable quality healthcare service delivery system in Nigeria. Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, was speaking at the Northern Traditional Leaders Committee on Primary Healthcare Delivery Quarterly Review meeting in Abuja. Oluseyi Adiago reports.
Efforts to control the outbreak of diphtheria and Nigeria getting set for the introduction of human papillomavirus HPV vaccine, plus meeting the target of ending circulating variant of poliovirus formed to discuss at this primary healthcare review meeting.
Where are we headed? Building on the success and your leadership, because this is something that you took on because you cared about the health of the population. And that aligns with our president's own mission to renew the hope of Nigerians going forward.
As the NTLC, we are confident that you will ensure the dissemination of accurate information about this vaccine through community channels.
Dr. Ali Pate was the midwife of this committee because of his concern with the issue of polio. Now 14 years old, you can see how strong this committee had been, because we moved away from polio to primary health care, and we are doing our best. So we will support you 100%.
Professor Ali Pate, Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, announced the federal government's latest strategy to use the health sector as Nigeria's unifying factor. In Abuja, Oluseyi Adiagbo, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide on NTA. Let's take another break. More to come. Glad to know you're still there. And it's time to head to Benin, where Obehi is standing by with some reports. Hello, Obe.
Elizabeth, many thanks for joining us here in Benin. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki says there is need for adoption of appropriate technology to engender good record-keeping and administration of tertiary institutions in Nigeria. He stated this during a courtesy visit by the Association of Registrars of Nigerian Universities at the Government House. Good luck, Enaini reports.
Governor Godwin Obaseki, who commended members of the association for the visit, says adoption of the latest trend in technology will help in digitizing record booking and, more importantly, engender better administration and management of the nation's tertiary institutions.
In an era where budgets are constrained and the government has so much on its plate, what should be its role in education? We are thinking through as a state, how do we regulate? We are proprietors, right, of our universities. And even if we are not, for those of you that are operating within our territory, should we not have some responsibility? Should we not understand what is going on in your institution?
The visitors appreciated the governor for his developmental strides in the education sector and the improved welfare package for pensioners in the state as they urge him to sustain the tempo.
Your commitment to prioritizing education and recognizing its importance is highly commendable. This year, our focus is on autonomy and efficient institutional governance, salvaging the soul of the Nigerian university system.
Members of the Association of Nigeria Universities Registrar are in Edo State for their annual retreat to come up with new policies that can improve the quality of tertiary education system in Nigeria. In Benin, good luck, Enaini. NTA News.
The gully erosion site in Amachai in Okpanam community becomes worse by the day. There is need for people living around the area to relocate for their own safety. This is the advice from environmental experts who visited the area on assessment. Susan Esu brings us an update.
The over 200 feet deep erosion site in Amachai in Okpanam community is becoming worse by the day as the earth around the site is depleting drastically. This is posing a very serious threat to members of the community.
It wasn't like this where they built this my house for me. So as days go on now, it's expanding. Even last time I went to the town, I can't even move to my house. I was stuck there till 4 hours before the rain subsided, before I moved to my house.
I've been hearing occasion where water carry people, the wave of the water carry people, but we are not praying that should happen here before government will come and intervene.
This is the peak of the erosion, and if you watch, as you go back, it's getting wider. That means if this erosion is left for a very long time, it's going to eat up larger space.
The constitution of the State Executive Council a month after is giving a ray of hope to the people of Amachai, as the Commissioner for Environment, Germany Tommy Ejiro, in company of the State Project Coordinator of Nigerian Erosion Watershed Management Project, NUMA, visited the area.
If we don't act fast, the disaster will be too much for us as a people.
The project coordinator, NUMA, speaks on the agency's ability to handle such massive erosion menace.
We are looking at the dry season. We can't really do anything now in the rain, and then as soon as the dry season comes in, I believe we should be able to start up, even with a little bit of palliative activity before we go into the full-scale intervention.
For their own safety, the people living around the area have been advised to relocate before work commences. Susan Isu, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. Nationwide continues with Elizabeth in Abuja.
Thank you, Obey. The National Examination Council, NECO, has released results for 2023 Senior School Certificate Examination, with 84.68% of the candidates obtaining at least 5 credits. NECO Registrar Professor Dantani Ibrahim Bushishi, who disclosed the results before stakeholders at the headquarters of the Examination Council in Minna, however, said only 61.60% had 5 credits in mathematics and English language. Fatima Usman has details.
National Examination Council's Senior School Certificate Internal Examinations was conducted between 10th of July to 11th August 2023. The release of the result is coming barely 2 months after the last paper was written.
Number of candidates is 5 credits and above, including English and mathematics, is 737,308. This represents 61.60%. Number of candidates with 5 credits and above, irrespective of English and mathematics, is 1,013,611, representing 84.68%.
95 schools have been blacklisted for involvement in examination malpractices and will face the council for questioning, while 52 supervisors are being sanctioned for aiding and abetting examination malpractices. In Minna, I am Fatima Usman, NTA News.
For more reports on Nationwide, let's join Bilkisu in Jos.
To Jos. Plateau State Government has unveiled guidelines for alternative care for children to enhance the provisions on protection in the existing legal framework, assist government and partners in the implementation of quality alternative care services for children in the state. Ijoma Ozemina reports.
Alternative care is an arrangement for children who are deprived of family care environment for reasons ranging from trafficking, abandonment, violence, abuse, family separation and orphanhood. In view of these vices, the need for family strengthening and alternative care for the young ones outside parental care has become imperative. Hence the development of guidelines for the provision of quality alternative care for children in Plateau State, and was championed by the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development with the support of SOS Children's Villages in Nigeria.
Guidelines that will help us and give us details on what to do.
It's a very good idea that these guidelines were implemented in the first place to protect us as children, to ensure that we have a safe society.
Secretary to the government of Plateau State, Samuel Jatel, represented, says every child deserves protection against vulnerability.
On behalf of the state government, I want to assure you that the Ministry of Women Affairs, the state is going to support the implementation of this document. We are committed to applying international best practices in bringing up our children. Also, we are particular about the young people in the state. We have special projects for the young people growing up.
There were various presentations by the SOS Villages children to domesticate the child's rights law. In Jos, Ijoma Ozemena, NTA News.
Jos University Teaching Hospital is sensitizing students in post-primary schools on ways of preventing suicide following its rampant cases in the society. Indiang and Abagang has details.
Suicide is a serious global public health challenge affecting all ages, religion, and race. Worried especially with the recurring cases of suicide amongst youth between 19 and 29 years age bracket, is the reason the Suicide Response Unit of Youth staged the awareness program, which aims at creating mental health awareness on the growing incidence of suicide in the society. In a lecture on suicide and depression, experts proposed the implementation of programs among youth to enable them build skills, identify, manage, and follow up on people at risk of suicide.
The fact that we're raising children that cannot communicate, we're leaving them with gadgets, television, phones, parents are not talking to one another, talk more of talking to the children. So children are unable to communicate when they are in distress.
There are a lot of people that commit suicide due to lots of pressure from, let's say, peer pressures and some psychological problems.
Let them to know is that suicide is never the solution.
Chief Medical Director of the hospital, Dr. Puko Butwata, represented, as well as other speakers, say the initiative is apt, adding that teaching them young will help curb the menace.
Creating these children the consciousness of the things, that can lead them to commit suicide. And one of it is drugs.
The awareness had as its theme, when all hope seems lost and life doesn't seem worth living. In Jos, Indenyan and the Abagang, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Jos. Nationwide continues with Elizabeth in Abuja.
Thank you so much. And here in Abuja, the community of persons with disabilities is worried over the livelihood of its members who are petty traders following the ban on street trading by the FCT minister. Statistics from the Persons with Disabilities Association of Nigeria indicate that at least 70% of them have transitioned from street beggars to street hawkers and vendors. This is why the association is calling for help as it held talks with the Executive Secretary of the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities. Gufan Shaji Ngwai reports.
With its well-known antecedents, only a few people expressed surprise at the swiftness with which the new FCT minister Nyesom Wike swung into action upon resumption of duty. One of his marching orders targeted street hawking as a mitigative measure to checkmate insecurity in Abuja. Segments of the community of persons with disabilities say that decision has impacted them in a not-so-good manner.
So we are appealing to the government that we need shops so that we can move to the markets and do our business in peace.
Responding, the Executive Secretary of the Commission, James Lalu, while reiterating government's commitment to inclusivity, assured the association that their grievances would be properly channeled.
I want to assure you
the complaint you are bringing about what happened around the FCT and disruption of your businesses, we are going to, as an institution, carry that forward, and we are going to present it to the Honorable Minister.
Inclusivity is an imperative for government. It would be interesting to see the response to such a delicate matter in Abuja. Gufan Shaji Ugwanyi, NTA News.
And the federal government is committed to the resettlement of Nigerians affected by natural disasters or conflicts. Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Ali Tijani Ahmed, gave the assurance while inspecting the newly built IDP camp in Kefi, Nasarawa State. Muhammad Awalu reports.
This is an internally displaced persons camp in Yerkadi, Kefi, built by National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons for Nigerians that may be affected by natural or man-made disaster. The camp boasts of 40 units of one-bedroom apartments with social amenities such as police post, recreational park, school, hospital, market, religious centers, among others. Inspecting the facilities, Chief Executive Officer of the Commission, Ali Tijani Ahmed, reiterates federal government's commitment to providing safe havens for Nigerians engulfed in a humanitarian crisis.
The work done is very encouraging, and we hope that we are going to send additional houses here in Kefi. However, the road network is very bad. With the ecological fund, which we are struggling to get now, we make use of it to ensure that we make the roads completed. And then there should be a good access from the main town to the IDP center.
Despite the abhorrence of crisis, it is hope more camps such as this will be constructed across the country so that when it happens, much impacts will not be felt. From Kefi, Muhammad Awalu, NTA News.
And next, some sporting stories. And Sports Update ends nationwide today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Good evening.